Welcome, Future Pro Goalie School. We're back at the YouTube video sessions. I want to introduce you a great friend of mine, Joe Raymakers. Now, Joe's played in the OHL, played for the London Knights, played for the Sioux Greyhounds, and he's been to at least 3 NHL rookie camps. He's got his teaching degree, and he's run his own goalie school for 6 years. He's a smart guy. In fact, he's smart enough to join Future Pro. This is the new owner, CEO, and president of Future Pro Goalie School. Joe Raymakers, welcome to the crew.
Well, thanks for having me. It's been awesome. It's kind of been it's been pretty cool to see since I've been young, going to your camps in Strathroy, and we went to Godrich the one year and camped as a family and stuff like that, and just to see it come full circle now is pretty cool.
I think the biggest thing for me was I knew at some point I have to retire because I'm old, I'm a goat, I smell like cheese, and I can't be doing this my whole life. But I'm not fully retired. I'm going to still do privates. I'm still going to be the first person you talk to on the phone. I'm going to still make these goofy videos, and we're going to help Joe be the success I know he's going to be. And he touched on something pretty cool. He's an OG Future Pro goalie. He's been to a lot of other great goalie schools, so he's got a huge width and breadth of knowledge from all other goalie coaches that are likely a little smarter than me, not as good looking. But the thing with Joe is, besides being in the OHL and being a dominant goalie, he's also went to school to be a teacher like me. So he understands how to teach, proper feedback, how to relate to kids, how to organize programs, discipline, professionalism. He's one of the only guys on the planet that I trust to take over what I've built for 35 years. So Joe, who's been the biggest influence on you in your hockey career when you got to the junior level? Who was a great goalie coach you had when you're playing junior hockey?
I've had a lot of great goalie coaches growing up and in junior as well. The first one that comes to mind is John Elkin, which is he's in the Pittsburgh Penguins system right now. Just his level of professionalism and his intensity that he brought to his camps and his coaching and instant feedback on every single rep I thought was really crucial, and that really opened me up to the professional side of things, and he was one of probably the biggest ones that comes to mind right now.
So John Elkin runs his own goalie school in Toronto, but if you have a choice, I would go to Future Pro with Joe instead of John. No, John runs a great camp. So who is the best player you played against when you were playing Major A? Who's the toughest guy to stop? Was it Connor McDavid, or who would it have been?
I didn't play against Connor McDavid. Actually, we lost to him in the conference finals my first year. Got to play with a lot of good players that year in the Sioux with Darnell Nurse and Jared McCann, guys like that. But there's an array of guys. Got to play against Mitch Marner and Max Domi, guys like that. Tyler Bertuzzi, just kind of an array of players that are now moved on to the NHL, which is pretty cool. And you can kind of tell some good stories to friends and family.
I'm sure there's some good stories. A lot I can't tell either. A lot Joe can't tell. But Joe, you played for Dale Hunter and Mark Hunter with the London Knights, the winningest group of brothers in the history of the OHL, and likely going to retire as the winningest head coach in the history of the OHL. Smart hockey family from Petrolia, just down the road here. And what was it like to play for Dale Hunter?
It was amazing. I always thought, and I tell this to everybody, that playing against Dale Hunter in the London Knights, I always thought Dale was the most intimidating guy, just looking at him on the bench. And when I finally got traded there and approached him, and he's a very personal, approachable guy. But what they demand is work ethic and come to the rink every day and professionalism. And that whole era of the London Knights is pretty incredible in what they've put together. And it all starts with them for sure. Just they want to treat you like professionals, like NHL players, and that's exactly what they do. And as you can tell, the proof's in the pudding that they send a ton of guys every year to the NHL.
So as I was growing up, we had a lot of help getting to the NHL. I was fortunate to play college hockey and then play in the NHL after getting drafted. And my parents played a big role in that. Can you tell me a little bit about the importance of your mom and dad on your journey, hockey-wise, and now into business now to become the CEO and president of Future Pro Goalie School?
Yeah, there's really no words to put together to how much they mean to me and what they've done for me, along with my 3 sisters. It started with getting up early if it was going to the rink, or staying up late and going to work all day, and then coming home and grabbing us, and making sure that there's always snacks or food packed for us as well. They thought of everything, and they gave us every single opportunity that we could. Even if it wasn't in hockey, it was, school sports, or if it was soccer in the summer or baseball, ringette for my sisters. It was pretty incredible to have 4 kids in the family and running around and trying to organize those schedules. And even throughout my junior years, it was kind of more of a supporting role and just helping me throughout certain issues or not getting enough playing time or just different things growing up that are really important that you need to go through. And their support and their love throughout that whole time is, there's no words that you could even put together other than, thank you. And I hope to emulate that to other goaltenders in Ontario and throughout Canada as well, but also to hopefully my future kids.
So I think the thing that I know about your father is, I've seen your father around the camps over the years, and he reminds me a lot of my father. He wasn't like a screamer or a hollerer, telling me to work hard. He knows that you had a lot of work ethic built in, and that intrinsic motivation that you had that allowed you to excel as a goaltender in the OHL and in the pros in college is going to allow you to excel in this business, because this business is very, very congested now, and the professionalism that you have, that I have, is what's going to keep the Future Pro brand out there. And the messages and the learning stuff that happened from your father, I think, has been imprinted in you, and your mother as well. But to have support structure like that's crazy important. Now, were they the type of parents that were overbearing and on the coach's front doorstep when you weren't playing, calling up Dale Hunter, like, why are you not playing? Like, were they more pulled back, or were they right up in the business all the time?
No, not at all. They were more pulled back, and they would just kind of sit back and observe and just kind of listen to what I'd have to say. And they would try to find something within me to try to think about or try to change and say, oh, have you ever considered this or considered this scenario? And that got me thinking of something different or maybe something that I could control. And at the end of the day, they were there to support me no matter what, no matter if I was playing well or if I wasn't playing so hot and, I didn't think things were fair as far as playing time, or they were just there to hear me out and there to support me, and they appreciated my work ethic and just my ability to be a good teammate in those times. So I thought that was important.
The thing that's great about those types of parents is they actually help the kid's journey. The opposite is true. We're very familiar with skill cut, attitude cut, and then parent cut. And I think having role model parents like yours and like mine were key to our success, because they never got in the way of our success. They were supportive and helped facilitate our success. Now, between your mom and dad, which of those two would have been more nervous watching you play?
Dad, for sure. I've heard some good stories of mom is like calm as a cucumber, but dad would, in the stands, especially in my junior years, I'd hear him. He'd be like, kicking the seats of the people in front of him, or moving his arm as if he's reacting and stuff like that. So it was funny to hear that, especially at the junior level, because I wouldn't expect that out of my dad. Like, he's a very calm and soft-spoken person, but it's just kind of funny to see how intense he would bring it, because you just want the best for me and in those games.
So parents, no matter how far you go in hockey or in coaching, whatever, they're still your parents. You're still their little kid, same as with my parents. And it was funny on Father and Sunday in the NHL with the Maple Leafs, we brought our dads on a trip, and exactly what you're saying, junior hockey's reacting like you're still that 9-year-old kid playing in the Chatham-Blenheim area. And now at the pro level, we're at a practice, morning skate. Matt Sundin's practicing draws with Darcy Tucker or something, and all the dads are sitting on the players' bench, and they're trying to give Matt Sundin advice on how he should be taking the draw better. And of course, the NHL guys are very respectful because they know their parents, but they're still acting like a dad. And Matt Sundin was maybe like that 10-year-old kid in Sweden growing up just learning face-offs, and the dad was just trying to help him. But it's such a huge thing to have supportive parents. Hockey's an expensive sport, and it's something that without your parents being involved, you're not going to get these opportunities to get your teaching degree, to play junior hockey, and all the hard work you put on is all you, but it's just definitely facilitated by your parents. So a huge thank you to the Raymakers. Mm-hmm. And I hope they treat their sisters. I hope they treat the sisters the same way too. Now, what do you want to see with Future Pro? Because you've seen in 35 years how we've grown it. You've watched the summer camps this past summer to see how we manage big groups of kids. We offer summer camps, association clinics. We do PD Day camps, March break, Christmas, mentor training, all these online products, and these amazing YouTube videos. So what do you want to see for the growth plan for Future Pro? I'll be long and dead and gone 35 years from now. What's it going to look like when you're getting ready to retire?
I would love to expand it. I think just first of all, I'd like to continue the legacy and continue the programs that you have set forth. I think the summer programs are amazing and the locations as well. I'll talk about expanding into Chatham a little bit later, but with the PD clinics in the the March break and the Christmas clinics, I think those are really important to stay on the ice and kind of get your goalie coaching in, because I find a lot of, when I was growing up, it was very hard to get to a goalie coach throughout the season, and I think those PD clinics and those Christmas and March break camps are extremely important. To expand on that, I think the one thing that I would like to see in talking with parents already is the lack of goalie coaching, or the neglect that goalies receive throughout the year, depending on the organization. A lot of goalies don't have a goalie coach available to them every single practice, which
Right.
It may not be realistic every single practice, but I think I would like to expand and have a program where we have a group of junior coaches in different locations in southwestern Ontario and beyond that they're a trusted source and Future Pro certified, that they can go out with a practice plan and they can help the goalies out and give real-time feedback throughout the week and week to week based on a package that they would like. That's one area for sure that I think is lacking, and I would love to expand that in Future Pro business.
It's right up my alley, and one of the reasons why I created the MASTERCLASS and the certification process is so that we can train goaltenders to have the knowledge base, flexibility to, they don't have to do everything a certain way. Like, you want to have different inputs, and the smart goalie coaches learn from different goalie coaches, and give the kids options, and general themes about movement, positioning, rebound control are pretty vanilla. But by creating that network of coaches that are certified, that we can get out there to help the kids, because like on a Tuesday night in Alvinston, some kid may not be getting any goalie coaching. And it's sad because goaltending in Canada has been dropping. You look in the NHL, most of the goalies, over 50%, are not from North America, they're from Europe. And because over there, they have structured goalie coaching since they're little kids.
For sure.
Like when I was coaching Vesa Toskala and even the Swedish kid Tellqvist, they had a certain goalie coach right from the age of 7 or 8 when they started, and they stayed with them all the way up. And every goalie coach in those organizations were following the same curriculum. So now you got growth all the way through the program. And I think it's a disservice we have in Ontario and in Canada that kids aren't getting proper goalie coaching. Not to some dad that's well-meaning, big heart, wanting to help out. We need people that are qualified coaching our goalies since they're young, all the way up. And then we're going to start winning gold medals again, with goaltending being the reason instead of the goal scoring being the reason.
Yeah, and if I can add to that, I think the big thing is, I mentioned the word neglect, but a lot of times, if the players are doing some sort of skating with the coaches within the coach's plan, coaches are so focused on those 20 set of players and, okay, what are we going to do with the players? Whereas the goalies, sometimes they're just following along doing crossovers in the circles, but that's valuable time, and goaltending is a totally different position. That's extremely valuable time to be working on their own goalie-specific skating or different shooting drills, game situation drills for them, because totally different position, and they should have their own personal coach as well.
So we're going to wrap up for today. Next week, we're going to be on the ice with Joe. We're going to do some coaching. You're going to see how he coaches on the ice with some of our bright students. I want you to follow us on Instagram, follow our website, futurepro.com. All of our new summer camp dates are going to be up, our winter camp dates, how to reach out to me, how to reach out to Joe to do private lessons. And by the way, get that MASTERCLASS. It's going to make you a better goalie. It's going to transform your game. Thanks for having you here today, Joe. Look forward to passing this on to you. You're going to do an amazing job.
Thank you for having me. It's an honor.